Let me put you in a macabre situation. Imagine you have a trusted butcher, one you've known all your life. Not just him, but also his parents, his grandparents. They've all been butchers, and none of them have ever given anyone a reason to worry. You buy from him regularly. He greets you warmly every time he sees you. You've known him since you were a child. One day, that butcher disappears. Weeks pass, and suddenly the authorities release an official statement. Alert. The butcher you've known your whole life has been arrested, and it's very possible that the meat he sold in recent years contained human remains. That pork you've been eating for years, that tasted so good, could have been mixed with the flesh of a human being. Someone brutally murdered, dismembered, and sold as food. This is a completely real story. Robert William Pickton was born on October 24, 1949, in a small city near Vancouver called Port Coquitlam. He was the second child of Leonard and Louise Pickton. He had an older brother and a younger sister. The family lived on a pig farm, raising and slaughtering pigs for human consumption, a detail that would later become crucial in this horrifying story. Robert's father was not a hardworking man. He preferred drinking and spending time with his friends, leaving all the work to his wife, Louise, who was extremely strict, demanding, and eccentric. She raised her 3 children like soldiers. They had to obey instantly or be punished. From a young age, they were forced to do the dirtiest jobs, cleaning excrement and slaughtering animals. Both brothers began showing strange, even perverse behaviors. They enjoyed hiding inside the carcasses of pigs that had just been slaughtered. Robert once had a pet, a sheep, that he loved dearly. But his parents killed it in front of him, a display of cruelty that scarred him deeply. At school, he was a poor student. His mother often sent him dirty and unkempt, with manure stains on his clothes. Classmates mocked him, calling him "stinky pig." Eventually, he dropped out of school to work full-time on the family farm. When their parents died, the siblings inherited the property, a vast farm with enormous lands. They sold off parts of it and became rich. With money came excess, wild parties, drugs, prostitution, and crime. Robert's brother, involved with the Hells Angels, used parts of the farm to hide stolen vehicles and sell their parts. Robert, meanwhile, became addicted to sex and drugs. He started organizing bigger and bigger parties. On one part of the property, he created a private club called Piggy's Palace, where people from the roughest parts of society gathered. There, Robert began choosing his future victims, mostly vulnerable women, many of them prostitutes or drug addicts with no family ties. The club was even registered officially as a charitable foundation called Piggy Palace Good Times Society. It was later shut down by the government after investigations revealed its true nature. Robert Pickton killed 49 women. In one case, a woman named Wendy Lynn Eistetter managed to escape after being repeatedly stabbed. She went to the police, but because she was a drug-addicted prostitute, her story was dismissed. After that, starting in 1997, women began disappearing from Vancouver's red light district. Within a single year, 28 women had vanished. Authorities began to suspect a serial killer, but no one could find him. What Pickton did with his victims was beyond comprehension. After killing them, he fed their bodies to his pigs, which devoured everything, even the bones. In some cases, he ground up human flesh, mixed it with pork, and used it as feed for the animals, or even packaged it and sold it as meat for human consumption. When he was finally arrested in 2002, police found women's clothing, fragments of human bones, blood, and torture instruments on his property. He was initially charged with 2 murders, then with dozens more, 27 in total. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. During the investigation, an undercover officer was placed in his jail cell. In a recorded conversation, Pickton bragged about killing 49 women and lamented not reaching 50. While in prison, he wrote a book titled Pickton, in his own words, which was later removed from sale after public outrage. In 2010, prosecutors decided not to move forward with over 20 additional murder charges and destroyed the remaining evidence, claiming it was unnecessary since he was already serving a life sentence. Many families, however, were left without justice or closure. Finally, in 2024, Robert Pickton was killed in prison by another inmate who attacked him with a sharpened object. He died shortly afterward in the infirmary. Thus ended the life of one of Canada's most horrifying serial killers, a man capable of butchering his victims, feeding them to animals, and even selling their flesh to unsuspecting people. What you heard tonight was just the beginning. Subscribe now and step deeper into the world of true crime and horror. Until next time, keep your lights on.